Yo, what's up YouTube? This is Chief Nick from SNKR Tribe bringing us another in-depth performance review of the one and only Lillard 4. Let's get to it. First off, the Rip City colorway. Released last Friday, October 6th at a price point of $115, which is the same price as the last model, the Lillard 3. As for the box, they didn't change anything at all, which I was kind of disappointed in. They kept it the same as the Lillard 3, and there's nothing new at all. Finally onto the shoe, much more different than the Lillard 3. Adidas really upped all their designs with this shoe. Whether it was the lacing system, the upper, the balance, everything improved. So let's start off with the features. First off, the midsole. Adidas went with the same midsole as the Lillard 3, which is the bounce system. He didn't want to use boost due to high cost, so he went with bounce. One thing that was really different was the traction pattern, and I don't really know how I feel about that because the Lillard 3 traction pattern was beast. Next up, the upper. Adidas took a completely different approach with this model and went with a textile lining. Much more different than the 1s, 2s, and 3s because as soon as you put your foot in this, you feel much more of a snug fit. This improves things such as support, lockdown, and stability. Lacing system. Adidas took a different approach from this one compared to last year's model and went with the lacing cables. Last year's model, they went with a hard plastic self-lacing system, and I didn't like that at all because it was bothering my foot from time to time. And with the lacing cables, this creates zero distractions. So Adidas, good job with that. Ankle color. Adidas ditched the concept of having a tongue and went with one whole seamless color. Made it a neoprene. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of skeptical about the ankle support because it looked so flimsy. However, once I put my foot into the shoe, it was really locked down and it really hugged my foot. So I really like the whole idea of having one seamless color because back to the lacing cables, this creates zero distractions. On top of that, there's also two lacing cables right here which help you put your foot into the shoe. In terms of sizing, I don't really have a lot of complaints. I have a narrow foot, so this ran true to size luckily, and it fits perfectly fine. However, one thing I would recommend, if you have more of a wider foot, I would maybe recommend going a half foot up. My foot's narrow, and it fits perfectly fine. The only reason why I say go a half size up if your foot is a little wider is because this area of the shoe tend to fit a little snug. So if you have a wider foot, I would recommend going a half size up. If you have a narrow foot like me, I would definitely recommend going true to size. On top of all the features of this shoe, Lillard also added a lot of small details to characterize who he is as a person in the NBA.
First off, we have the numbers 35 and 12. These numbers represent the numbers that he was putting up in high school that got him recognition from the college scouts. Similar to 35 and 12, 25, 6, and 4 represents the numbers he was putting up at Weber State that got him recognition from NBA scouts. For the highlighted 6 that you see right here in red, this represents the draft pick that he was selected. Next up, 0.9, this represents the amount of time he had left back in 2014 when he game winner the Houston Rockets and sent them home from the playoffs. Last but not least, we have the number 0, not only representing his number, but also representing the amount of critics that believed in his success on his route to the NBA.
Next up, we have also his signature right here, as you guys can see, as well as an acronym right here that explains who he is as a player, saying, "You know what time it is," with his famous phrase of "Dame time." All said and done, the Lillard 4 is an above average basketball sneaker. I don't think it's the worst, I don't think it's the best, but hey, at $115, you can't go wrong. I do think it's a bang for your buck, and the performance and the aesthetic of this whole shoe is definitely worth way more than $115. So you can't go wrong with that. In terms of improvements, Adidas, I do think that you guys could have went with a nicer side profile. When I first saw leaked images of the shoe, I wasn't impressed and I actually thought it was kind of ugly to be honest. But as soon as I saw on-foot photos of Lillard wearing them, that's when I thought the shoe looked much more nicer than it actually was on the side. Another improvement that I felt like Adidas could use was the whole design of the upper. The textile lining has a bunch of holes clumped together, and me personally, I'm not a huge fan of a bunch of holes put together because it kind of freaks me out. But that's just a personal thing, like I said. If Adidas went with another material or another design, I think personally it would have looked much more nicer. And there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed my video on the Lillard 4 sneaker review. Please make sure you guys like, comment, or share this video, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below. Also, please be sure to follow my future content. I'm going to be leaving my Twitter and my Instagram information down below. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a good one. Signing out, Chief Nick. Peace.